There are many animes that have changed people's lives. Dragon Ball Z, The Big Three, Fooly Cooly, Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop, etc. But there is one anime that I think does not get the credit it deserves. One of the best and subtle animes that I have watched. The white-haired, 1,000-year-old elf mage, Frieren. If you've already watched Frieren Beyond's Journey's Edge, then you have already witnessed peak fiction. Frieren is an anime that I would call a slow burn. A slow burn meaning that it takes time for the anime to get intense. But once the intensity arrives, it is hard to let go. Frieren is the perfect anime to watch when you want to wind down or just relax. The vibes that Frieren give off are a coffee shop or a rainy day. Based on the title, I will explain how Frieren changed my mindset for the better. My name is Bugzey and I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and comment if you do enjoy. Let's jump straight into the video. Frieren follows the story of a 1,000-year-old elf who was one of the strongest mages of all time. Once a part of the band of heroes that defeated the Demon King many years in the past. She starts a new journey with Frieren and Stark. Throughout the journey, we start to see Frieren learn from the mistakes of her past. Before we jump into that, let's talk about Frieren as a character. Frieren is a socially awkward, antisocial, caring, and silly. She is a very enjoyable character who is impossible to hate. Well, I am sure there are some people who hate her, but we are not going to pay any attention to them. In the beginning, Frieren does not care a lot regarding Fern. She only agrees to train Fern because Hyter made that request as his last dying wish. Hyter was the corrupt priest who drank a lot, who was a part of the band of heroes. While we are here, let's talk about the members of the band of heroes. We have Himmel, Hyter, and Aizen. Himmel was the hero, Hyter was the corrupt priest, Frieren was the sage, and Aizen was the dwarf/warrior of the group. Everyone served a role in the group and impacted the journey along the way. Back to the present, Frieren starts training Fern and it's going okay. The reason why I say it is going okay is that Frieren doesn't really want to train Fern. She gives her a bit of information and then Fern has to figure it out. Fern is naturally talented and is able to learn all the concepts that Frieren teaches her. Since Fern is a human, she is inept to learning magic easier because it comes to humans easier. Additionally, humans have to learn at a much faster rate since they do not have long lives such as elves. Now Bugs, what is the message that changed your mindset? I'm glad you asked. The message is appreciating the people in our journey and living in the present. Frieren is a character who originally did not value the band of heroes a lot. Honestly, in the beginning of the anime, she did not care for them at all. Her mindset behind that was, oh well, they are humans, they are going to die off anyways while I will live for thousands of years. Frieren always knew she would outlive the band of heroes and did not value them much when they were alive. Through her experiences with Fern and Stark, she learns to appreciate the journey and people along the way. This message stands out a lot to me because it is something that I do not do enough. As a 25-year-old college graduate trying to figure out his purpose in the world, there are so many different goals that I want to accomplish. Most of the time, I do not focus on the journey but the end goal. It did not matter to me how I got to the end goal, just that I eventually got to the end goal. A very common mindset to have as an ambitious adult. Yet, there is no happiness or glory in just reaching the end goal. In fact, it feels very empty once the goal is reached if the journey is forgotten or not valued. This same message is something that Frieren learns over the new journey that she embarks on. One of the reasons why Frieren is such a great character is that she recognizes this in real time. Seeing her reminisce regarding her time with the band of heroes is always nice and relaxing. The flashbacks and how it becomes more applicable to the current story is a great connection. Frieren becomes more empathetic towards Fern and Stark as the journey continues. While there are certain things she does not enjoy doing, she will do it if it makes everyone happy. For example, going on adventures that do not pertain to the immediate task. When Frieren, Fern, and Stark got stuck in the cabin with the elf during the winter, she made the best of it. But she chooses to go on these adventures and derail from the current objective. What are you talking about, Bugs? You're not wrong, Mr. or Mrs. Viewer, or they. However, Frieren doesn't always have this mindset. There are many instances where Frieren's journey with the band of heroes, she questioned why Himmel wants to go on these side quests. In typical Himmel fashion, he answered with a smile that even the smallest adventure is still an adventure. A message that we see Frieren follow in her new journey, but also something applicable to real life. Whatever your main goal is, there is nothing wrong with taking a detour. Consider it a filler arc or even a filler episode depending on how long you stray from the main path. It is okay for you to do something strictly for yourself or even something you never suspected to do. A detour could be what a person needs to regain focus or regain the love for what they are doing. In my life, there are times when I'm super locked in with my goals but still feel lethargic, dissatisfied, and bored. Sometimes I create new goals to spark an interest or I take a detour. This typically means a vacation to see my girlfriend or going out of town, which is perfectly fine. We are meant to enjoy life and not slave away. Anyways, let's get back on track regarding the message in Frieren. The message of appreciating the journey and friends does not affect Frieren, but everyone around her. Many characters who interacted with Frieren were impacted positively, unless they were a demon and had to get eliminated by her or Fern. When Stark, Fern, and Frieren defeated the dragon, we see how the town showed so much love to them. In particular, they were making sure that Stark had everything he needed. You can see the impact Stark had on the town, and their appreciation meant the world to him. Every town that Frieren and the crew would go to were met with love and appreciation. The amount of positive memories that the band of heroes left behind affects Frieren years later. I think everybody gets the point of the message that changed my mindset. Now, let's discuss why the characters in Frieren make the message so important. Frieren's character plays a major role in why the message is so relevant. Frieren's laid-back, chill, and go-jolly persona is what makes the message believable. Whenever we see Frieren, she never takes life too seriously and goes with the flow. Because she does not take life seriously, her starting to grow more appreciative over time is important. If Frieren was a serious character or extremely caring, the idea of appreciation would not come off as strong. This character type is seen in someone like Yusuke Urameshi, a character who gives off a persona of not caring about anything about himself. Eventually we see that change. This makes Yusuke and Frieren great characters because we witness the change over time. It's witnessing a light bulb go off in our character's head. As a viewer, we see how she grows as a person over the time of season 1. To be honest, Frieren is immature regarding her emotions and mindset. Over time, her immaturity slowly turns into maturity regarding her emotions. I love this because it is relatable to an adult. Even though Frieren is hundreds of years old, she still has the capability to grow and learn. Even adults who think they know everything have the ability to grow as well. The older I've gotten, the more empathetic I have become. Most men lack empathy as it is shown as a sign of weakness. However, the older I've gotten, it's proven to be a sign of strength. Frieren lacking human emotions and slowly gaining them is beautiful. Over time, we see how Flamel and the band of heroes' human emotions remain with Frieren later on. Without Frieren's character type, the message of appreciation would not be as believable. We even see Frieren cry during Himel's funeral, which is very surprising for the character. Well, it would be, but as a viewer, we know that Frieren actually loves Himel. While it may not be explicitly shown or is said in the flashbacks, we see the love that Frieren has for Himel. It's not just Frieren who makes this message so vital. Fern and Stark play a vital role in the message of appreciation, but also living in the present. Fern is a character who is not able to express or process her emotions well. Whenever Fern gets angry, she has a pout and does not explicitly say what is wrong, which is funny and adorable due to the viewer expecting Fern to be more mature. Whenever Stark makes Fern mad, she always hits him in a soft but funny manner. Eventually, when Stark apologizes to Fern, everything goes well and they manage to get food. The fact that food is Fern's way of accepting an apology is funny as well. As I watched Frieren, I saw a subtle love interest between Stark and Fern, two adults who were not able to understand the emotions that they feel. Most importantly, they would never admit to one another that they like each other romantically. Stark, being the warrior of the group and the most immature, gives Frieren and Fern a role. Frieren is the enabler who co-signs with whatever impulses Stark has, while Fern is scolding him when he does something that she doesn't like. An example, when Frieren gives Stark a magic potion to dissolve the clothes of anyone, Fern gets really mad and calls it a pervy gift, while Frieren is totally on board with giving it to him. Stark is a character who wants a sense of belonging and feels a guilt from the past. When he was told to run away from his big brother, he felt weak and worthless. Frieren and Fern reminded him that he does belong. Stark is an important part of the crew, and that's all Stark wants. We see the past being used in the present when Frieren makes dinner for Fern and Stark. Frieren makes steak hamburg and tells Stark that is what Eisen made for her birthday, a tradition from the past that is being brought to the present. Throughout the journey, our characters are living in the present and enjoying the moments. Lastly, one thing about Frieren's character is how she tries to understand human emotions. Yes, I know the conversation of Frieren regarding her human emotions has been overstated, but I really love how she tries to understand it. One example is when Fern's staff gets broken. Frieren just tells Fern to let it go, but doesn't understand the importance of the staff to Fern. Even though Frieren does not understand, she decides to get Fern's staff fixed because she knew it mattered to Fern. A proud moment that a viewer gets to witness. Frieren Beyond Journey's Edge is one of the most underrated animes of all time. It is an anime that I believe anyone can watch and should watch. The development of Frieren's character is what makes the anime so special. I love the theme of appreciating people and living in the present because I think it's something we as humans need to remember. If Frieren is able to learn to appreciate people that are no longer with her and now her new friends, you can do the same. We need to appreciate the people in our lives so that once they are gone, we do not feel regrets. It isn't weird or lame to show love to your friends and family. I know that as adults, we can't live day by day and plan for the future. As mentioned earlier, it is okay to take a detour in life or just enjoy the present, because today will eventually become the past and tomorrow will be the present. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section if you watched Frieren. If you have watched Frieren, let me know what you took from the anime. There are so many positive things I can say regarding Frieren, but this video essay will go on forever. Anyway, my name is Bugzey or Bugs for short. See you later.